July 16th to July 23rd, the most important current affairs we will be discussing now. So as you know, new parliament building came into existence, Vista House, which is called as, this beautiful structure is called as New Parliament, and this is the inside of the Indian Parliament, of the very high structured of nearly of 4,000 crore. But what is the issue? Why it is in the news? The news is because of the national emblem. The news is with the roaring of the national emblem. So the original Sarnath emblem is a peacetime. It's expressing a friendly nature. Whereas the emblem which has been installed on the parliament, on the Vista House, is very aggressive. So the outrage over new national emblem, the first look at the new emblem atop the new parliament had lot of controversies, debates. So in the process of showing the new India, in the process of showing the new parliament, whether you are going to express an aggressive India. Why? Because the parliament is a symbol of the nation. On the symbol of the nation, there is an aggressive national emblem. So obviously it is nothing but an aggressiveness, aggression which you are showing to the rest of the world. But India is not that the people tell. India is not that the people tell. The India is a symbol of softness. India is an example of peace. So that is one current affair which is there in the last week. And the second important current affair, as you know, the Draupadi Murmu, the 15th President of India, head of the state, second woman to become the head of the state after Pratibha Patel, the first tribal human being. Why? Because it's not only the woman, the first tribe, first tribal woman to become the President of India, to get into the highest constitutional body of the country, Murmu, Draupadi Murmu. Not only this, one thing we have to discuss about it, from 2009 to 2014, the time period of 5 years, she lost, at one particular point of time, she lost her 2 sons, she lost her husband, she lost her mother, she lost her brother. So almost her family was being deserted. In spite of that thing, she came out, she had performed her role as the governor very successfully, and she became the first president, the first tribal president of India. That we need to remember about the Draupadi. And the most important about the Draupadi Murmu is Santali tribal woman. Santali tribal woman. She belongs to the clan of priests within the Santali tribe, which is called as Murmu. Santals are earlier nomadic tribal community, now they became settled agriculturists. But however, this Santali tribal community is the most affected tribal community because of industrialization and mineralization, or industrialization and urbanization, and because of mining activities in Chota Nagpur plateau. If any community got displaced, means the Santal community got displaced multiple times in multiple places. They live in Odisha, they live in Bihar, they live in Chhattisgarh, they live in Jharkhand. And some of the Santal people also migrated to Assam to work in tea plantations. That is the ethnography, or that is the life of the Santali people. And this lady come from this particular village of Santal, from the village name called as, from the district Mayurbhanj, from the village name called as Upparbeda. She is the first woman who crossed the village. She is the first woman, she did graduation, first tribal woman who crossed village, as well as who did her BA. So this is the great achievements of this particular person. Not only that, she also got Nilakanta Sanman, means a very good legislature of Odisha. And now she is the President of India. This is a very good example. You can write in any question of tribal development, you can write in any question of weaker sections developing, you can write on any question where the downtrodden people are becoming the part of mainstream. Draupadi Murmu. The next important topic which was in the news is Nord Stream pipeline. When the war happened, when the war started between the Russia and the Ukraine, everyone bothered about what will happen to this Nord Stream. Some countries are rich in oil resources, some countries are poor in oil resources. India is poor in oil resources, whereas the Gulf countries are famous for oil resources. So, these mineral resources are not equally distributed across the nations. So, there is something called as a diplomacy, which is called as oil diplomacy, which is called as oil diplomacy for the sake of oil. So, when the war started between the Russia and Ukraine, everyone worried that Germany is rich in everything but except oil. Germany is poor in oil. So, Germany want oil. So, who is having oil or who can pump oil, who is having very good resources of oil and gas is Russia, compared with United States of America, compared with European countries. Why? Because a part of Russia also lies in Europe. That is the reason we call it as Euro-Asian nation. Russia is called as Euro-Asian nation. So, if you notice here, there is one pipeline which is moving through the Baltic Sea. If you see, there is a pipeline which is moving through the Baltic Sea. So, this particular pipeline is from Russia. This blue color what you are noticing is called as Nord Stream 1, and the dotted one is called as Nord Stream 2. So, prelims point of view, we can expect a question. Nord Stream 1 is from where to where? Vyborg of Russia into the Greifswald of Germany. Whereas the Nord Stream 2, why we went for Nord Stream 2? Because Nord Stream 1, the oil which is pumped is insufficient. So, they want more oil. So, another streamline came into existence which is called as Nord Stream 2 from Ust-Luga to the same Greifswald, Germany. So, this particular oil pipelines are two pipelines, one is Nord Stream 1, other is Nord Stream 2. One was being executed in 2012, another was being executed very recently in 2021. So, when the war happened, when the war started between the Russia and Ukraine, everyone worried that Russia might stop the oil to Europe. So, from Germany, the oil is going to different paths. From here, it is going to different countries from Germany. Or else Russia also worried that they might stop oil pumping from Russia. So, the big doubt, the big apprehension was been there with respect to the pumping of oil from, that is Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2. It is in the news because Russia restored critical gas pipelines to Europe through Germany via the Nord Stream pipeline after 10 days of uncertainty in guise of maintenance. So, Russia, what they did, they stopped it. Everyone thought that they stopped because Russia is taking revenge. Why? Because European nations are supporting Ukraine. So, 10 days, the gas pumping, the oil pumping was been stopped from Russia to, but it was a genuine thing. Again, it got restored 2 days back. So, it was a really maintenance thing. It is nothing called as a revenge which is associated with Ukraine war, because it is the money which is, it's the economy which is generating. If it is stopped, the Russia will lose the money. If it is stopped, the Germany will lose the oil. So, it is like a win-win situation for both of them. So, the Nord Stream is not going to stop in any point of time. That is the conclusion. Nord Stream, the longest subsea pipeline, undersea pipeline, export gas pipeline, is export gas pipeline which runs under the Baltic Sea, gas pipeline. Baltic Sea carrying gas from Russia to Europe. Nordic Stream consists of two pipelines, pipeline 1 and pipeline 2, which have two lines each. One came into existence in 2011, another came into existence in 2021, which runs from Vyborg in Leningrad, Russia to Lumbab near Greifswald in Germany, number 1. Number 2, Nord Stream 2, which runs from Ust-Luga in Leningrad to Lumbum, was completed in September 2021. Prelims point of view, 1,222 kilometers long Nord Stream is the longest subsea sea line, surpassing the Langland pipeline. So, this is the world's largest subsea or undersea pipeline, which is called as Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2. Why we have 2 means 1 was insufficient, so came up with 2. Under which sea? Baltic Sea. Innovation Award which was been given very recently by Niti Aayog India Innovation Index, India Innovation Award by Niti Aayog. Karnataka was in the first place, Telangana was in the second place with respect to innovation between the states. Karnataka has bagged the top rank in Niti Aayog's India Innovation Index 2022. Karnataka held its position high, and the first position it is. Last edition was 2019, now it is 2022. Up to now, 2 times the India Innovation Index awards were been given. For the first time in 2019, now it is 2022. It was followed by Telangana, Haryana, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, etc. In the index, Manipur secured the top in northeastern states and Chandigarh secured the top in Union Territory as well as city-wise. So, with respect to state, it is Karnataka and the second is Telangana. With respect to northeastern states, Manipur is on the top. With respect to UT and city, it is India Innovation Index by Niti Aayog. Niti full form, National Institution for Transformation of India, which is an executive body but not a statutory body or a constitutional body. Executive body means the body which is formed by the government order is called as executive body. India Antarctica Bill 2022. A bill was been passed in the parliament 2 days back, which is called as in the Lok Sabha. It is pending in Rajya Sabha. India Antarctica Bill. Indian Antarctica Bill 2022. Sir, why India will make a bill on Antarctica, sir? Antarctica is something which is very different. It is a separate ocean. It's a separate continent. Indian Antarctica. Antarctica Sea. It's a continent, separate continent. So see, Antarctica as well as Arctic, both are called as global commons. Space is called as global commons. Antarctica is called as global common. Arctic Sea is called as global common. Space is called as global common, which is common to everyone. If something happens to it, I will be affected. If something happens to it, you will be affected. If something happens to it, Pakistan will be affected. Means it is common to everyone. Those concepts or those things are called as global commons. If something happens in Antarctica, compulsory every citizen of the world will be affected. Why? Because the Antarctica have the influence of increasing the sea level. If the sea level is increased, everything will be submerged. If the sea level has been increased, everything will be submerged under the. So it's important to protect the Antarctica. And as India, as a responsible country, it made a bill that the protection of the Antarctica is the responsibility of India with other countries also. So I also have the say. Why? Because Antarctica is to provide for national measures from my side, I will be protecting Antarctica. How? By reducing carbon emissions. If carbon emissions are increased, the temperature will increase. When the temperature is increased, the melting of the ice will happen. When the melting of the ice is happen, it will convert into water, and the increase is increased, the sea level will increase. So my responsibility is also there. So I will take the national measure from my side. At the same, other countries also should take the measurement for the betterment of Antarctica. Prelims point of view. In recently, on which continent of the world we made a law? Facilitate activities of Indian Antarctic Program, management of Antarctica tourism and sustainable development of fisheries to prohibit carrying of certain activities without a permit or the written authorization of another party to the protocol. There is one particular treaty and protocol which is called as Antarctica Treaty and Protocol, whereby no nuclear bombs should be used, no extra fishing should happen, no hazardous waste should be released there. It should be a pristine environment where all the countries made a protocol to protect the. So the law is according to the Antarctica. The bill is according to Antarctica Protocol in order to protect the. To provide for inspection in India by an officer designated by the central government as an inspector and to constitute an inspection team to carry out the inspection in Antarctica. Means according to our law, we are going to inspect the. According to our law, we are going to recruit one inspector, and this inspector is going to inspect Antarctica whether any country is misusing. Why? Because it's an open land. It's an open land. So any country can use the resources for any of their benefit. So in order to have the safe journey or in order to have a safe continent called as Antarctica, Government of India is taking the responsibility by a bill called as next. East Timor. East Timor, it is in the news. East Timor, it is in the news. Why it is in the news? East Timor. Map pointing. East Timor is beside Indonesia. It is also part of Association of Southeast Asian Nation Countries, means it is a part of Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. In that particular ocean it is located. This particular region is called as East Timor. Indonesia, East Timor. Also known as Timor-Leste, Asia's youngest democracy. Why it is in the news? Elections happened for the second time. General elections happened for the post of president for the second time. What country it is? East Timor. The territory was colonized by which country? Portugal. Why I am discussing? Because the elections were being conducted for the presidentship of East Timor second time. The Financial Services Institutions Bureau, very important. Very, very important this is. From all this, from this week, if I found anything which is useful, which is very important, is this is very, very important, which is called as Financial Services Institution Bureau. Financial Services Institutions Bureau. What is this bureau? Government of India had one scheme earlier which is called as Indradhanush. Indradhanush means how many colors? 7 colors. Under Indradhanush of 2014, the government of India had envisaged for the reforms in banking sector. For the reforms in banking sector, in that reforms, in Indradhanush, 7 provisions were been installed. 7 provisions were been placed. In that 7 provisions, one provision is BBB, Banks Board Bureau. There will be a Banks Board Bureau. This Banks Board Bureau will be having the power to appoint managing directors, chairmen of public sector banks. All the public sector banks will be appointed by one particular board bureau called as Banks Board Bureau. But recently Delhi High Court had questioned BBB on the lines of Banks Board Bureau is appointing the managing directors as well as chairmen for the banks. On what basis it is appointing? Whether there is any statutory provision, whether there is any legal provision, whether any law is there which is strengthening Banks Board Bureau? No. The Banks Board Bureau was been established on the lines of government order. Means Banks Board Bureau is what? Executive body. Banks Board Bureau is what? Executive body. So the Delhi High Court has questioned the very existence of, it questioned the very existence of BBB. On what basis you are appointing the chairmen of the bank? Whether you have a legal backing, means whether any law is there for you? No law. The BBB was established on the lines of executive resolution by a government order. So the government thought that before that BBB was been very much criticized that you Banks Board Bureau, you are recruiting the people as chairman and managing directors for the public sector bank who are very close to the BBB. Who are very close to the BBB, you are recruiting them as chairman and managing director for the public sector banks. So to come out of the criticism, to come out of the judgment which is given by the Delhi High Court, the government of India came up with Financial Services Institutions Bureau. Now this bureau will get a law. Now they are going to form a bill, and that bill they want to place in the parliament and they want to pass it through Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha to get a statutory status. Now this Financial Services Institutions Bureau will be having the power to recruit and to appoint chairmen, managing directors, general managers also. General managers for public sector banks, not only public sector banks, Banks Board Bureau was been limited only for the banks, but this, it is not only for public banks, but also for insurance sectors, life insurance sector, as well as for general insurance sectors, like GIC as well as LIC. It is a government body set up under the Department of Financial Services. The board will be entrusted with making recommendations for the appointment of full-time directors and non-executive chairman of state-run financial services institutions. State-run financial institutions means banks, life insurance companies, general insurance companies. But understand this, Banks Board Bureau was only for banks. But FSIB not only for banks but also for life insurance companies and general insurance companies. Sir, what is the difference between life insurance companies and general insurance companies? What is the difference between life insurance companies and general insurance companies? Life insurance companies only for life, death. General insurance company, health insurance, vehicle insurance, this all house insurance, this all comes under general insurance. So the public bodies of general insurance as well as the life insurance bodies head will be appointed by government, but for their appointment who will be recommending? So FSI is a recommendatory body for the government to whom should appoint, whom should not. It's a recommendatory body to the government, please appoint this person. They will be appointing them. The board would comprise the secretaries, the members of the board, the composition of the Financial Services Institution Board or Financial Services Institutions Bureau, secretaries of Department of Financial Services as well as chairman of IRDA and the deputy governor of the RBI will be the member of this bureau. So this composition body, they will be checking who should become the chairman, who should become the managing director, who should become the chairman of general insurance, who should become the chairman of life insurance. This recommendation will be provided to the government, and the government will be appointing them as the chairman. Additionally, it will have 3 part-time members who are experts in banking and 3 more from the insurance sector. This complete body will be sitting together as a part-time members as well as full-time members, and they will be choosing the persons who can become the members, who can become the chairpersons of the banks as well as for the insurance as well as the general insurance. So now Banks Board Bureau is come to an end. Now FSIB will be, whether it is important or not. With reference to the Banks Board Bureau, which of the following statements are correct? UPSC 2022 prelims. Why they asked in 2022, you know? Why? Because Banks Board Bureau was being accused that you are appointing those people as the chairmen. It is an appointing body. As the chairman of the banks, who are very close to the Banks Board Bureau. So because of these acquisitions, every time BBB was in news. So now the government thought that I will be cancelling this and I will be forming what? Financial Services Institutions. The governor of RBI is the chairman of BBB. No. Our BBB recommends for the selection of heads of public sector banks only. BBB helps the public sector banks in developing strategies and capital also. It will help in strategies. So answer is 2 and. So on these lines, FSIB can be asked in 2023 prelims. See, BBB is a self-governing, autonomous and advisory body of the central government to improve the management of the public sector bank. It is incorrect. The chairman is selected by the central government and not the governor of RBI. Banks Board Bureau recommends the selection of the head for public sector banks. It also helps in forming strategies for capital and improving the performance of BBB was been asked in the prelims. Now there is a chance that FSIB might be also asked in the exam. Another which is, I believe it is important for prelims. 2023. Namaste Scheme. Last week it came into existence. Namaste Scheme. What is this Namaste Scheme? Mainly with respect to sewerage. National Action Plan, Namaste full form. National Action Plan for mechanized. A National Action Plan for mechanized sanitation and ecosystem. E and ecosystem. Mechanized. NAMST. This is MA, this is ST. National Action Plan for mechanized sanitation ecosystem. So now, why? Because if you know, the sanitation workers who are working in Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation or Bruhan Mumbai Municipal Corporation or Delhi Metropolitan Corporation, Delhi Municipal Corporation, DMC, they will do by their hands. Mechanized sanitation ecosystem is absent. Like mechanized sanitation ecosystems are present in United States of America, such a sort of mechanized sanitation ecosystem is absent in India. So in order to provide the mechanized sanitation ecosystem in India, the government of India is coming with a scheme called as Namaste. Namaste Scheme for cleaning of sewers and septic tanks. The scheme is a joint venture between the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Very important. Who are the two ministries part of Namaste? Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment as well as Ministry of Housing and urban affairs. Why? Because the manual cleaning of septic tanks is more in urban areas when compared to rural areas. Mainly in municipal corporations and municipalities when compared to Panchayati Raj institutions. So the focus first is on urban areas. So the two bodies, Ministry of Urban Affairs as well as Ministry of Social Justice and Urban Affairs. Housing and Urban Affairs and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. It aims to achieve what? Zero fatalities in sanitation work in India. People will go inside the manual scavengers. They go inside the septic tanks. They go inside the drainage facility. Absence of oxygen will be there. Sometimes who go inside the sanitation, they will not come back. Deaths, fatalities. So there should be zero fatalities. The target is what? Zero fatalities in sanitation work in zero dead bodies. No sanitation workers come in direct contact with human fecal matter. All sewer and septic tank sanitation workers have access to alternative livelihood. There should be another. If they want to leave, if they want to resign, there should be an alternative livelihood also. If not, what will happen? If not, what? He will be forced to work. If there is no alternative livelihood, what will happen? He will be forced to work. So three things: zero fatalities. Number two, there should not be any human touch of the human ficus by the sanitation worker. Number three, there should be an alternative facility if they want to change their livelihood. These are the three targets for Namaste Scheme. What is Namaste Scheme? National Action Plan for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. With new members, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, Counter West. You have NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. What is NATO? A military bloc. Who lives on the borders of Atlantic Ocean is called as NATO. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Such a sort of similar military bloc is absent for Asian countries. Such a sort of similar bloc is absent towards Eastern world. It is present towards Western world. Why the war between the Russia and Ukraine happened? Ukraine want to join in NATO. Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join in NATO. That is the problem. So now a contrary for NATO is coming into establishment, which is called as SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So what is the counterpart of NATO now? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Iran and Belarus are likely to join, almost completed. Within tomorrow or day after tomorrow, they are going to become the members. The discussions, the dialogues, everything is been completed for Iran and Belarus to join SCO. You know, the enemy, the blood-hot enemy between Iran and USA. The two are strong enemies. Iran will get strength if they become part of SCO. Iran and Belarus are likely to be the newly joined two members of the China-Russia backed Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. China is also angry on USA. Russia is angry on West. For example, what happened 2 days back? Spratly and Parcel Islands. Two islands are there in South China Sea. South China Sea, which is contiguous from Indian Ocean to Pacific Ocean. In between a sea is there. That sea is called as South China Sea in the map. From Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, in between one particular sea is there. That sea is called as South China Sea. In this South China Sea, two islands are there. Virgin Islands. Means what? No movement of people. That particular identity, that particular island is called as, two islands are called as Parcel Islands and Spratly Islands. Parcel Islands and Spratly Islands. China claims that this Parcel and Spratly Islands belongs to China. Vietnam claims that no, the Parcel and the Spratly Islands belongs to us. So there is a big controversy, there is a big conflict in this particular South China Sea. Recently, one ship came near the South China Sea, very near to the Parcel Island of United States of America. Then the China warned the United States of America, you are somewhere located in Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, you have to be there. Why you are coming into South China Sea, that too very near to the Parcel Island. And we already told that the Parcel Island belongs to China. In that way, the conflicts between the China and USA is very strong, as well as the conflict between Russia and West. West is headed by, on what front? Ukraine front. Ukraine got support from West, and Russia is telling that Ukraine once upon a time is part of Russia. Why you are giving support to? Russia is asking the West. Once upon a time Ukraine is part of Russia, so we are having sovereignty on Ukraine. It's our responsibility. Why you are supporting? So Russia and USA is also in conflict. Iran and USA are every time into conflict because of sanctions. There are huge sanctions on Iran on the question of nuclearization. So they want to make a counterpart for as well as US. So they formed SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is backed by China and Russia. Founded in June 2001. It is based on Shanghai 5, consisting of Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. First in 2005, it is Shanghai 5. Then after 6th member added, which is called as Uzbekistan. Then it became Shanghai Cooperation. So first it was Shanghai 5, then it became Shanghai Cooperation. Then India joined it. Relevance of India, observer status in 2005, membership in 2017. Then what happened? In 2005 we became observer, and in 2017 means India and Pakistan both became members of Shanghai Cooperation. So as of today, how many members are there? 8 members are there. And now more 2 members are going to join, who are called as Iran and Belarus. Why? The ambition is to create a counterpart for West, to create a counterpart for NATO, to create a counterpart for West. How the West is united, in the same way East also should be. So the 10 countries are Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and 6th country is Uzbekistan, 7th country is India and Pakistan, and now it is Iran. And which country of Central Asian country is not part of Shanghai Cooperation? Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is not part of SCO. Kazakhstan is part, Kyrgyzstan is part, Tajikistan is part, Uzbekistan is part. What is missing? Turkmenistan is not part of SCO. Prelims point of view. Which of the following is missing in SCO? Turkmenistan. Earlier it was Shanghai 5, then it became Shanghai Cooperation. So now Iran and Belarus are going to become almost finalized today. Iran and Belarus are going to become the part of 1 week back. GGG, Global Gender Gap. India should be ashamed of it. Rather the ranking should increase, but the ranking is decreasing. Rather the participation of women should increase, but the participation of women is decreasing. World Economic Forum will be releasing every year Global Gender Gap report. In that report it mentioned that the rank of India is below some of the Gulf countries also. Why? Because Gulf is famous for what? Context wise you have to tell. What is context? Context is Gulf countries are famous for controlling the women. No. Context is women. I am not talking about oil. What is the context? Gulf is famous for controlling the rights of women. Why? Because Muslim countries. Dubai, they don't have voting rights for women today also. They didn't give voting rights for women. Car driving is not allowed for women in Dubai, in Gulf countries. So India is backward than the Dubai. India is backward than Gulf countries. So say shame on India. India rank 135 out of only 12 countries are there forward than us. Means only 12 countries are forward in what? In controlling the freedom of. India ranks 135 among total 146 countries in the Global Gender Gap released 2022 by World Economic Forum. Prelims point of view. 4 parameters are taken to calculate the ranking. 4 parameters are taken to calculate the ranking. Number 1, political empowerment. Number 1, political empowerment. How much political empowerment is there? That much rank will be becoming better. Political empowerment. Number 2, economic participation opportunity. Whether in economy the women are participating or not. But I think you might get some general doubt. Sir, I am seeing, sir, women are also participating, they are also doing job, they are getting education, they are also into the workforce. It's better, no? Then why our rank is getting down means other countries are performing far better than us. We are also performing with respect to women, but better than us, others are performing very well. You are running fast. It doesn't mean that you are winner. Why? Because better than you, other people are. So when you cross them, your rank will be better. So better than us, other countries are performing with respect to gender gap, but we are not performing on par with other countries, so we are back. Economic participation and occupation, opportunity. Third, educational attainment. Fourth, health and survival. These are the 4 parameters. Number 1 is political empowerment. Number 2, economic participation and opportunity. Number 3, educational attainment. Number 4, health and survival. These are the 4 things with respect to. Apart from this, one is very important. Forest conservation rules. Forest conservation rules 2022. This is very important. Why? Because it has lot of implications. We have Forest Conservation Act of 1980. I will tell you basics also. Forest Conservation Act of 1980. In this Forest Conservation Act, they told that when any forest land need to be converted to non-forest activity, then compulsory they have to get the permission from central government. They have to get the permission from central government. Means state government doesn't have any power with respect to transferring of forest land to non-forest activity. That is Forest Conservation Act of 1980 tells that. Central government is more determined to conserve and protect the forest. So who is having the power to convert the forest area into non-forest activities means central government. Why? Because sometimes state government will give lot of forest to the mining activities or minerals for industrialization, for urbanization. So central government, like a big boss, it will be checking whom to give and whom not to be given. That is a good thing. Then Forest Conservation Act, for all the approvals of converting from forest to non-forest activities, who is the final authority? 1980, 1990, 2000, 2006, a landmark. Forest Rights Act 2006. The rights for the forest. The rights for the forest dwellers means traditional forest dwellers or other traditional forest dwellers for whom 4 hectares of land, for whom minor forest produce rights are given. It was also been vested in central government. Means what? State government with the local Tahsildar, with the local forest officers, they will be fixing, but the final decision will be made by the Indian Forest Service officer with the permission of central government. The forest rights or the forest land will be given to the tribals. So 2 things you got now. Number 1, with respect to conservation, who is the final authority? Central government. Why? Because if any forest land need to be converted to non-forest activities, who should give the permission? Second, according to Forest Conservation Act of 1980. Then according to Forest Rights Act of 2006, who will be the final authority to give the rights for the forest? Who will be having the final authority to give the rights on forest to the tribals? So central government was giving the rights to the tribals, and central government was the authority who is controlling from converting forest land to non-forest. This conservation rule is telling that one rule they told. What they told? Now onwards, when we are converting forest land to non-forest activity, central government as usual will be having the high power. It will be having 2 bodies. One is called as regional committee body and advisory committee body. Based upon these 2 bodies recommendations, the central government will be deciding whether to convert the forest land to non-forest land. Number 2, it told that, but now if we want to give right to the tribals, if we want to give the forest land to the tribal, state government can give. State government can give the land to the tribals or minor forest produce to the tribals. Now see, when it is coming with respect to rights, hak, state government was been given the power. Now the state government is accusing that you are intentionally making. Why? Because every time the Supreme Court is accusing the central government, till how many years you will take? 2006 the law was been passed, today 2022, nearly 15-16 years has been completed. You are not taking any action till you are not giving any land rights to the tribes. Immediately give it. So central government is unable to give it to the tribals. Why? Because they are unable to find whether they are original owners or not. So central government is confused. Now what the central government did, the responsibility it gave it to. If Supreme Court asks what you are doing, means what the central government, why you are asking me, ask. So the responsibility of giving the rights to the tribals was shifted from central government to state government. So in between, who is becoming sandwich? Tribals are becoming sandwich. Why? Because when they want to give central government, now central government is telling the state government is telling that when we want to convert it to forest land to non-forest, we have to take the permission from you. When we want to give the right, you are giving responsibility to the state. Why? Because state government will not get anything, no, to giving land to the tribes. They will not get nothing. If they will get something means when the forest land is converted to non-forest activities. Why? Because the corporate or the state will develop, or the mining activity will happen, or the industrialization will happen. If you want to give us power to convert forest land to non-forest land. Why you are giving power to give the forest land to tribals? Why? Because if the land is given to the tribals, whether any productivity to the state? If the land is given to the non-tribals, like corporates, any benefit to the state? Yes, benefit will be there. Why? Because they will establish a company or a mining activity, revenue will come. So that conversion power you took, rights where the forest rights should be given to the tribals is given to? This is forest conservation rules. So the responsibility was been shifted from central government to state, but the authority of conservation was been kept with the central government. That is forest conservation rule. Forest conservation rules 2022. No, it's a rules under Forest Conservation Act. They kept under Forest Rights Act of 2006. It is a rule. Like how we will be having solid waste management rules. It's legality only. Why? Because in the act what they will write, for the implementation of the act, respective rules will be made by the government. So under that clause they will be making the rules. So these rules also will become the part of act. So these are the 11 topics which are there in this one particular. What are all the topics? New Parliament, mainly with respect to this issue. National Emblem. Next, Draupadi Murmu. Third, Nord Stream pipelines, gas pipelines. The longest gas pipeline in the world, subsea, is the Nord Stream. Remember the places. Number 1 is Vyborg to Greifswald. Number 2 is Ust-Luga to the Greifswald. Same location. Next, Niti Aayog first, Karnataka. Antarctica Bill, Indian Antarctica Bill 2022. East Timor, FSIB, Financial Services Institutions Bureau is going to replace Namaste. Next, SCO, and 135th rank out of 146 global gender gap released by World Economic Forum. You have to be very, I will tell you now, reading current affairs newspaper. We started giving from Super 50 batch onwards, daily news protocol. It is very properly arranged if you notice. It is properly arranged with background, everything it is provided. You can follow that daily news protocol. With that, we are also providing daily news tablet. Means issues, 1 or 2 issues. Time is important. You should not sit all together, hours together. Newspaper only 1 hour. After that, this daily news protocol plus daily news tablet 1 hour for current affairs, close. So it's not a newspaper 2 hours, it is the current affairs 2 hours. In the 2 hours of current affairs, 1 hour is newspaper, another 1 hour is daily news protocol and daily news. And don't read too much. Crux, how I am giving you the crux, only that crux you have to catch it. Then how to make the current affairs notes. See what you do, I will show my notes also. How you have to make your current affairs notes. See. First, take one book of 300 pages. It should be the index. Index, agriculture, leave page, 1 to 5 pages. Irrigation, 6 to 10 pages. Food security, 11 to 15 pages. Drainage and drinking water facility, 16 to 20 pages. That's it. Then you write all the page numbers here. When you are reading newspaper, when you come across anything with respect to agriculture, open there and write what is the summary which you understood from that article. It should be only 1 sentence or 2 sentences. Don't copy paste. The main point you have to write. So in that way, when you are filling, all the agriculture related current affairs will be there here. All the agriculture related current affairs will be there here. For example, Paramparagat Krishi Yojana, which is nothing but national organic farming. Now Sri Lanka got collapsed because of organic farming. So whether it is good in India, expected question. We are having Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, which is nothing but national organic farming policy. NOFP. We are going with organic farming where the one country got collapsed because of organic farming only, whether we have to go with that or not, expected question or not. So that type of issues, issue based topics, issue based content you have to write. On irrigation, education, internal security, Naxalism, cyber security, education, ethics also. If you come across any ethical issue, for example, now common thing happened, yesterday one person committed suicide from IIT Hyderabad. Every time he will be posting his YouTube video, it seems now he posted YouTube video, he didn't got those many views, how much he will get regularly. So he committed suicide. It's an ethical question, it's ethical point of view. Suicides became a tendency. In Maharashtra, when the UPSC results came out, he didn't clear the prelims, he committed suicide 2 months back. So any article which you are coming with respect to suicide, you have to make in the notes. I will be bringing my notes. By 5:30 your economy class will be completed. No, don't go. I will bring my notes. Okay, I didn't went home. I was here only from morning. Now I will grow and I will bring. 5:30 you stay here. After your economic class, I will show my notes. Now your assessment. How you prepared your exam? Test 1, test 2 means how your preparation was been there. How you are moving on. How effectively you should prepare. We made one assessment. Me and Chaitanya sir, we made one assessment for test 1, test 2. How many tests completed? 2 mains, 1 prelims. 2 mains, 1 prelims. Tomorrow again you have prelims test of 35 MCQs. Question paper is ready. So 3 test assessment. Now Chaitanya sir will be telling. Again I am telling you, you have to work hard. This particular batch is only for a 2023 rank. The same I will tell now. The same I will tell in November, December, January, February, March, April. The same I will be continuing it. So take seriously. Chaitanya sir, come sir, please. He made the report. According to the report, assessment will be given.
Then you got question about 18th Simon Commission also. Simon Commission and Communal Award. You know why Simon Commission is negated? Like why we rejected Simon Commission? Because of there is no participation of Indians in that. So what are we fighting for? Independence. So we need our voice to be heard there. But it didn't had. So we are negated that one Simon Commission. And we went for Communal Award. So your answer must be why we negated, what is the consequence, why we didn't accepted it. We have to give the positives of our side and negatives also. Okay? All people wrote only, it is just because of white peoples are there, we have got Simon Commission, go back. We shouldn't answer like that, okay? We have to tell what are the positives, what happened for the consequences of Simon Commission coming to India, and what we did to send them back, what are our requests, okay? That should be in the answer. Then the third one is Communal Award. What is the problem happened between, so what is the discussion, the SCs are differentiated from Hindu community. So what our freedom fighters have told, we shouldn't want to be any separation in our communities, isn't it? So we need to discuss about that consequences, what is the place of India on that time, our community is there. So we have to mention holistically, not only write about the Hindus and why Ambedkar fought for those people and why Gandhi said no. Okay, we need to be holistically answer the question. And about the objective resolution, we passed the other question. Okay, objective resolution, do you have any importance in our constitution? So we have to mention about it. That's why we have taken the objective resolutions. Okay, we have to mention holistically what are the positive sides on the question and negative sides of the question. That would be better. Okay, you all guys are doing well in the exam, but you didn't scoring well because of you are not writing the positives and negatives and you are not interlinking the acts. You have to interlink the concept, so you could score better. You have to if I say for A for apple, you shouldn't only say for apple. Okay, you have to explain about it. What are the nutrients are there, how it is good for health. Okay, that's why you must be right. And what is the second test? Citizenship Act. You all know Citizenship Act now. You all wrote well about the cases and the dissent, everything. How we get the citizenship, what are the act details, everything you wrote well. And about NRIs, PIO and OCI. What is the difference between these three? Okay. What we get from NRIs? Remittances we get. We have a cultural exchange, isn't it? Our people are going to there, learning their culture, getting back to us, isn't it? We have to mention that also. In a just one point, that would be adding for your answer now. You could add more points like that. That would be different from like you 10,000 people are writing MAIS. Your answer might be unique now. Everyone will write the same. So you have to be unique in your answer. So you need to add some more points. Think about it. What is the another question? Formation of new states. Okay, you all wrote about the formation of new states. 3 states has formed after 2000 and the state is formed in 2014 is Andhra Pradesh from Telangana. They are bifurcated. You all wrote well, these 3 states you have written. But what is the reason for the separation from those states? No one has mentioned that one. You have to do that one. Why the states are separated in 2000? You just quoted only 3 states are separated. What is the Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Uttarakhand. So why Jharkhand has been separated? Why Chhattisgarh has separated? Because the tribal people or the mining issue, what are the resources separation, we have to mention about it. Okay, no one has mentioned about these points. You have to keep it holistically. When you are writing an answer holistically, you cover all aspects, social, political, economical. You have to mention all those topics. That would be better. Then again about economic paradigm, that human developed paradigm. It's a model, isn't it? Did sir explain you well? So why didn't you present it in a proper way? Because you haven't read the properly. You have to focus on the economy. Don't get confused about economy. You just write in the margins of what are the definitions you are not knowing or the new words what you don't know. So you can revise them, repeat it, then you can understand. You are new to economy, isn't it? Is there anyone from economics background here? Or anyone? No, no? Only 1 or 2. So you need to ask your friend, or we have Google now, you can search from it. So you can understand each minute point. You are in the test 2 only, isn't it? So you have to prepare from the basics. You have to construct well. So you won't get confused when you are approaching the detail. So that's about your test. And yesterday I have pinged in a telegram about how ABC you should be. The ABC needs, UPSC needs ABC, okay? Your answer must be accurate, okay? You must be brevity and clarity. So what do you know about brevity? You have to brief, you have to be exact, okay? Rather than information you all had, you need to be in clarity in your answer. You don't dump all the information you had about anything, but you have to be clarity in the answer, okay? Just one thing you have to understand is about the question. You just understand the question. What was the question asked about? If it is asked about citizenship, then what is PRI, NRIs, PIO? You have to separate the parts in the question. Then you have to address each part of the question. So you can do well, okay? You need to clarity and understanding of each and every topic minutely, so you could do well. You are in the very basic of preparation, isn't it? So you have 290 days around before the exam right now. So you have to make part. Every day counts. Prepare every day. How many are doing your newspaper every day? What are the topics there in today in the newspaper? Okay, 15th. From which community she had come? Santal. Is there any Santal revolt in pre-independence history? You have to read about it also. You have to update it. When you got your exam, you have to read about it, okay? So when you got anything in news, you have to read what is background, so you can update yourself. Otherwise you will forget things. Humans used to forget, na? So okay. So don't worry about your marks in the exam. Be interlinking the topics and do well, okay? Revise every time. We follow a technique called, I always write in your answer sheets like triple R. It isn't about a movie, but it is read, reread and revise. Okay? You read a topic and you just keep it for 10 minutes, you remember what are the things, you keep in your mind. After 10 minutes you revise the topic, after 10 minutes you read that topic again. This is reread. The second one is reread. The first is read, you may miss 1 or 2 points at the time. Okay? You may lose in your concentration or you may have any deviations. You may lose 1 or 2 points. When you reread a topic, you will add these 2 points. And then what you do is revision. So these 2 plus 1, you will get 3 points addition. Okay? So your revision will be happen here. Then what you do is VASM. This is our technique we use here. You will write the answer, I will analyze the answer, then you again revise the answer. Then this would be score enhancement mission. We do it in a mission mode, okay? That is VARSM, triple R. You always have to be focused on those points, triple R and VARSM. Keep it in your mind when you are preparing every point, okay? All the best. Do you have any doubts? You can ask me. Do you have any doubts in any topic? Any topic are you feeling tough? You could ask me. I will be your exam coach here, so you could come to my room there, or you can ask me anytime, or you can ping me from the Telegram group. Any doubts, like you have feeling any stress, you can ask me. So we are here to help you. What is our target is we want to get selected in 2023. We want to see in Labasana. Okay? That's what you are here for, right? So how many did your post-graduation? How many of you are graduates? How many are you are freshers here? The first timers? Good. Time is so precious, so don't waste your time. Every day counts. Okay? Every day. After 365 days, you have to be in Labasana. Aim for it. Don't aim for 1000 days. Okay? Don't waste your 3 years or 2 years here. Only 365, I will be in the Labasana. Aim for it, okay? Do you have any questions? All of you are doing economy well. Your fundamentals are good. In polity also, your fundamentals are so good. But what you are missing is interlinking of the concepts. So, what we are asking for is daily answer writing. How many of you are writing your answers? 4 plus 4, 8, 10, 16, 21 students are there here. How many of you are writing? 2, 3. What happened to the remaining? Did you pay your fee? So every rupee counts, isn't it? Think like an officer. Do you want to spend your money somewhere else? No, no. When the budget is allocated, you have to do it correctly. Okay? So if, work for every rupee. Prepare for it. Ask for us. Okay? We are going to help you anytime. Prepare every day. Okay? Do finish your newspapers. You will get newspaper questions also in the daily answer writing. The correction will be so strict because we want to be IAS officers or IPS or IRS. Okay? We don't want to be lower grade officers. We want only top candidates here. Did you got that? You have 30 to 40 DSPs working in under IPS, isn't it? So who do you want to work? You want to be an IPS or DSP? Which cadre do you want to work? IPS? Or you want to be an MRO? Like 150 MROs working under one IAS officer. So what are you here for? Okay? Keep it in mind every day. Your parent has sent you for that reason only. That you want to be the best. So work every day. All the best. If you want any doubts, you can see me in my office. Okay? You can talk to Vishnu sir or Kanti sir. Okay? All the best.